Ready to sell your high-ticket offers using sales funnels? In this video, I will show you some examples on how you can use the power of sales funnels to help you increase your revenue. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post a new video about funnel building advice. I have been building profitable sales funnels in Kartra for me and my clients since 2018. I helped hundreds of people to use Kartra to the fullest, and now I want to do the same for you. Let's do this. Okay, one way to sell high ticket offers using funnels is to use a webinar funnel. You can call it differently, like it doesn't have to be called a webinar. It could be called a video training, a masterclass, and it could be a workshop, whatever you want. The idea is always the same. You start with a registration page where people will give you their information in exchange for having access to the information, to the training that you're going to give them. So right after they register, then you have two options. Let's say you are using a pre-recorded training, so you want them to watch the content right away. So right after registration, they can get the content and they can get the content, and so they can watch the video immediately right after registration. So then during the video, what you can do is you can offer either to book a call with you, or you can send them directly to a sales page. So that depends on how expensive your high ticket offer is. So most of the time you will want to ask your people to apply to work with you, so that you are sure that it is the right fit for you. Like if they are a good candidate, if they're good candidates to work with you. So let's assume that you're going to do that. One of the great things about Kartra is that you can add the call to action directly in the video. So even if people are watching, full screen, for instance, they will still see the call to action and they can click it. In Kartra, you can do that. You can have the call to action on the page, and you can have the call to action like right there in the video as well. So let's say you send them to an application page, so they will apply to work with you. And then now you have two options. You can do the process semi-automatically or fully automatically. What I mean by that is you may want to review the application one by one. You may want to read the application and then decide, yes, this person qualifies. So you mark that person as qualified, and then Kartra can immediately send an email with an invitation to book a time with you in your calendar. And once again, this is all inside Kartra, so it's all integrated. This is just in one place. So you send the calendar, they book a time with you, and then you close the sale during the call. It could be fully automatic in the sense that your application can have conditions. Like if this person meets certain conditions, you can apply it and say yes, it works, and then send an email directly to invite them to book a call. If they don't qualify, you might send them another email saying something like, we are not ready for you, and then you can send them different offers or different resources or another thing that is helpful for them. But once again, you can do it completely automatically or semi-automatically if you want to. So now this is the flow if everything goes as expected. Like if people just go ahead and come here and watch the video and then apply, and then if they qualify, you send them an email to book the time. So now what happens if people register but for whatever reason they don't watch the video? I don't know, computer crash, internet fails, anything can happen, get interrupted. So in Kartra, you can create a email campaign for those people who, for whatever reason, didn't watch the video, or even better, didn't watch the call to action. Like, let's say they watched part of the video, but they didn't watch the call to action to book a call. So then they didn't get to that part of the video. So you can send them an email to remind them to watch the video again. And this is not just an email, it could be a series of emails. That's why I call it a sequence. And then what happens if people finish watching the call to action, but they actually didn't book a call with you or didn't apply? Sorry, they didn't apply. So you can again run a retargeting campaign where you can ask them to book a call. Hey, you know what? You watched the video, you found value on this. What do you think? Whatever you may want. And once again, this could be a campaign where you send a sequence of emails, several emails, or as many as you want, to remind them to apply. So you don't need them to watch the video again because they already watched it. So you can stop this sequence automatically and just focus on this one. So the goal of this sequence is to make sure people watch your content. The goal of this sequence is to make sure that people apply for your program or for your services. So then you don't need the sequence anymore. So automatically you can just stop it. Then once they apply, if they qualify, this could be also a sequence to remind people to book the time, to book a time in your calendar. And once again, this one can be stopped because they already apply. You don't need them to apply anymore. As soon as they apply, you stop this and then just keep the calendar working. And obviously, once they book, you will have the reminders for the call. But this is what you could do in Kartra automatically, and even depending on how long they watch the video or not. You could also do this if they click on the links, like if they click to apply but they didn't, you can have this application trigger also. So it could be both of them for whatever you may want. Now, we can create a variation of this funnel. So this would be called a webinar to application funnel, where basically people watch the webinar and they apply for your service or for your program. However, there may be a case where you feel ready to just sell something. Like you don't need them to apply. You don't need them to book a call. It could be because your product is inexpensive enough, or because your audience is already warm enough. Whatever the reason may be, you may want to just, instead of sending people to a application page, send them directly to a sales page. So the same principle applies. So we only change the application page for a sales page with order form and everything that comes afterwards. So the first part is exactly the same. They register, they get the emails to watch the content. When they watch the content, they get the emails to go to the sales page. And same idea, you can have the call to action button directly in the video, and then you have the reminders on emails so that you can keep going here. One more thing you can do if you are sending people to a sales page directly is that you can send them a cart abandonment sequence. Like, let's say they go all the way to your sales page, they even filled out the order form, but they didn't finish the purchase. Like, again, life happens, they get interrupted, something happened, so you can create a cart abandonment sequence to remind them to finish what they came to do. Now, another very interesting way to do this is to change the entry point a little bit. Like, you may not want to spend that much money on ads, for instance, for webinars, because usually having ads for webinar is more expensive. You may want to say something like, you know what, I prefer to do a freebie first. So one way to do this is to add the freebie at the beginning of the funnel. So it would be like let's say a downloadable, a free PDF, a free ebook or something. So you have a freebie, and as any other freebie funnel, you can just have your thank you page at the end, and then from here you can offer them to register for the webinar. So it would be like a step prior to the webinar registration. It's usually less expensive when you run ads to a freebie, or it could be an easier entry point for your people to, like, they may not be ready to watch a webinar, but they may be ready to read a smaller document. Like, it's going to take them less time, and you can help them with something anyways here with a freebie. And once again, you can do now targeting or retargeting emails. Like, let's say after they register, you can remind them about downloading your freebie, so they get to know your content and your style. And you can also remind them about the registration. And the beauty of Kartra is that once they register, you can stop this registration reminder. You don't need them to register anymore because they are already registered. And finally, what you could do is you can do exactly the same thing as we have here, but apply it to a sales page instead of book a call. So same idea, we can have the opt-in for a freebie, the thank you for the freebie, and then right after this or on this thank you page, you can invite them to register for the webinar, so they may or may not do it, and then you can retarget those people who register for your freebie, asking them to register for your webinar on emails. And again, those are sequences, so it could be 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever number of emails you want to send them to remind them this kind of action in this case. And once again, it goes all the way to the sales page. So you can start from the registration page for the webinar, or you can add this at the beginning, the freebie option at the beginning. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments. Need ideas to use sales funnels in your online business? Download my guide to help you build a funnel that brings leads and clients day after day. Find the link in the description below. And watch this video about Kartra pricing so you know exactly how much you need to invest. It includes a way to get a 30-day trial for just $1. Link is also in the description below. Bye for now and see you next time.